Rananim kumusta and hello. Welcome back to another episode, the last episode of the main week. We'll have tomorrow's preparation episode, but another episode of Grace Daily. Glad to have you with us today as we are walking through our text of the week, Philippians chapter 2, verses 19 through 30 will be what we go over on Sunday, but today we're looking at Philippians chapter 2, verse 30c, the last part of it. And the verse says this: because for the work of Christ he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life, to supply your lack of service towards me. Some of the most helpless feelings that a person can have is watching a loved one suffer. When our family or our friends hurt, so do we, almost in a very physical way. And there seems to be nothing that we can do about it. And Paul sounds like he's getting really harsh in his statement. I mean, why else would he be commenting on their lack of service towards him? The word for service is a special word used only 6 times in the New Testament, and it's the word liturgios, and it sounds like liturgy. It's the idea of a holy type of work. So the type of work that a priest, not today's Catholic priest, but a type of work that like an Old Testament priest would do. And of those 6 times in the New Testament, 2 of them are used in Philippians. The other time is back in 2:17, where he says that, yea, and if I be offered upon the sacrifice and service of your faith, I joy, and rejoice with you all. So the Philippians were obviously serving, and they were doing a good job at it. And Paul was willing to be the final part of their service. So then what does it mean by the lack of service? Another way to understand this word lack can mean inability. So it's like they were in that situation of watching a loved one in pain, and they felt like they couldn't do anything about it. The Philippian church was unable to serve Paul in the way that they were wanting to. So it's not like they could the entire church could come to Rome and live in Paul's house with him while he was in house jail. Like, that's not possible. So what's happening? Epaphroditus fills the gap. Epaphroditus was a guy from the Philippian church. They sent him to Rome to minister to Paul. And that's the important point of the day. Epaphroditus had been sent by the Philippian church in order to represent all of them to Paul and to serve him on their behalf. So that's what Sarah and I are doing here in Chuk. We represent a multitude of believers whom you've really never met, and we serve you on their behalf. And here's the good news. This is what each of us get to do on a daily basis. You have the opportunity to represent the community of Grace International Baptist Church to those who you serve. And if you're not a member of our church, if you don't attend our church, but you're from another church, that's what you get to do. You are representing the community of your church to those that you are working around and you are around. We can't all be at your workplace, otherwise we wouldn't be at our workplaces. We can't all be in your home or with your family that doesn't know Christ, but you can. And as you serve, you are a representative of a greater body, wherein we can't come in and help in these areas necessarily. You're there representing us. So serve well. Let people know that GIBC is a church that is full of love and grace and compassion of Jesus Christ. Let them know that we are a community of believers that want to serve our community around us, and point them to Jesus on our behalf. I might not ever have the opportunity to witness to your grandma, but you can on behalf of the church, and that is counting. That's just a great privilege. And so point them to Jesus on our behalf, and we're going to do the same for you, and that is working together as a community, as a church family, for the gospel of Jesus Christ. So let's represent each other well. Grace and peace, my friends.